that ground offensive hasn't begun yet, but if it does, what could it look like?
I think it will be a multiple break-in. I don't think the Israelis will try and go in at one point because they want to give Hamas nowhere to go. They want to invade in such a way that Hamas are caught in small areas, not able to move to the south. That may not be so possible because they're under great pressure for humanitarian reasons, and they seem to be concentrating on the north. And they've said that they want everybody to get south of Wadi Gaza, which is just literally halfway along the territory of the strip there at Briji. And it may be that they'll concentrate on the north, which will give Hamas somewhere to escape to in going south of the Wadi to the south. And then they'll have to do it all again in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So it's not optimum from a military point of view, but it may be this is their compromise. I'm sure they're not going to leave it much longer because you can't have a military machine like this. Biggest thing they've done since 1973, all cranked up and ready to go. You've either got to go or stand it down for logistical reasons.
And in the past couple of days, the US has heavily increased its military footprint in the region. Just tell us why they've decided to do that, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the military build-up of the United States Navy is it's not remarkable, but it's very notable. So they've got a carrier battle group already on station in the eastern Mediterranean, just west of Israel. That's the Gerald R. Ford carrier, very big carrier with its group. They say that a second group, the Eisenhower, with its carrier group, is now not going to the eastern Mediterranean, it's going to go to the Gulf. Now, I assume that means it's going to go through the Suez Canal, down the Red Sea and turn up in the Gulf. It won't go, I can promise you, west of the Strait of Hormuz. That's really dangerous stuff. It'll stay east of the Strait of Hormuz, but there it is, right off the coast of Iran. And that will be a very important symbol. And then they've got quite a lot of military hardware, ships as well, in the Red Sea. That was where they had the USS Carney last week, intercepted these Yemeni missiles that were on the way to Israel. It looks as if they've got the USS Bataan now, which is a helicopter carrier, very powerful ship full of helicopters and Marines. And they've got a couple of landing platform dock ships and some others. So I think they'll shake the whole thing down into one group in the Mediterranean, one group in the Red Sea, one group in the Gulf. Plus, they've got a big air base in Qatar, just in Doha, just west of Doha, is the Al Udeid base, very big air base. They've got lots of assets, and they've got lots of troops. If you look at who they've got already in theatre, plus the Marines they've got on the ships they're sending, I reckon they've got about at least 8,000 troops there already before they think about sending any others, troops and Marines.
With the US military's history in the region, why do you think they've decided to deploy in such force?
Lots of different reasons. One is that the more force you've got, the more things you can do in terms of evacuating civilians, humanitarian aid, intelligence, lots of things. You can patrol the seas. Secondly, they may feel that they need to help Israel in a particular way, the way the USS Carney did last week, intercepting missiles. But thirdly, it's deterrence. It's showing particularly Tehran, and maybe Beijing as well, that the US is there to be counted, that this is not an administration that can't do anything. This is the US saying, look what we can do with what we've got in the 6th Fleet, let alone the 7th Fleet in East Asia. This is what we can do. So don't think that we're out of the game.